Hello, my lovely, affluent, and elegant people of the courts of the world. We are going to be talking about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard's trial. We're in the week, I'm going to be analyzing the week in which Amber Heard testified herself for the first time in America. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already here on the tubes. You can also join me on Patreon, superdacob all spelled together for extra perks. Thank you so much to my patrons who have pledged. This video is being filmed live in front of a live audience. I live stream every Saturday on my main superdacob channel, so be sure to follow me there as well. Hi everybody in the chats. I got my wonderful merch mug. Check out my merch down below, link, superdacob.com. And I'm drinking right now an iced coconut latte macchiato. Oh my God, coconut milk, coffee. Okay, I'm living for it. It's super hot where I'm filming right now. So to have an iced coffee while we're talking court and trial. Oh, hey, Samantha Jones. Listen, if I had Amber's face, I'd cry too. Trying to give a Samantha impersonation here. By the way, everything I say in this video is for entertainment purposes only. It is just my opinion. No facts are being stated. It's just to entertain you guys. Allegedly everything, right? All right. Hashtag justice for Johnny. Now, what do you guys think about this week? Listen, I was traveling the whole week, so I did not have time to cover the trial live. Otherwise, you best believe I would have been sitting with you, live streaming this every day from Totally Dacob. But I was super busy traveling, so unfortunately, I missed the week of trial. Next week, they're taking a week off. So we have a whole week next week where there is no trial. All right, hold on. I'm sitting on these pillows, which are, okay, which were falling down. Okay, so Amber, I want to get to the juicy stuff. When the doctor that analyzed Amber that was called by her lawyers, whatever, was that juicy? That was kind of the last, witness before Amber was called to the stage. And mind you, I'm saying she was called to the stage because, quite frankly, it's just my opinion only, the lady delivered, a performance. Was it Oscar worthy though? Was it a good performance? Yeah, I do. No. 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 I don't want to say it was an Oscar worthy performance. Was it an okay performance? Was it an off-Broadway performance? No. Was it TV show? Low-budget TV show performance? Maybe. Was it telenovela? Soap opera performance? We're getting there. The quality, right? Was it reality TV performance? Yeah. Now we're more there. We're more there. But was it YouTuber sitting on their kitchen floor crying about some random thing performance? Yes. That's how it felt to me. It felt like a YouTuber making an apology video, but instead of apologizing, they're making it even worse. Classic YouTube drama. YouTubers sitting on the kitchen floor, bawling their eyes out, saying oh my God, I'm sorry, but something even worse was done to me. Now, we don't know what is true, what is not true. And as I said, whatever I'm saying is just for entertainment purposes only and just my opinion. So anyway, I cannot know what she went through or not. But what allegedly they are stating here, and now this is an interesting point, is that she apparently keeps adding more and more bad things that allegedly Johnny did to her with every new moment that she testifies. every time she retells the story, it appears that she allegedly adds more and more and more stuff. And new stuff. Now that we have this 1 week off from the trial, it is said that now Amber's PR team and Johnny's PR team are now bad. Like the real court is Amber and Johnny Depp hashing it out through their PR teams. We have heard that Amber Heard allegedly a week ago or so fired her entire PR team because she didn't like allegedly how they were doing it. So she allegedly hired a new PR team, which now allegedly is battling Johnny's PR team. And the first thing that we see from the PR team war is Amber Heard's PR team allegedly stating that Johnny Depp's attorneys are not, how do they say it, are basically acting as if they were the judges. That's kind of the gist from what I understood. Her PR team's structure of the attack upon Johnny's believability is that, oh, Johnny Depp's attorneys are acting, allegedly stated, right? That they're acting as if, paraphrasing here, and allegedly, as if they have the truth and they're the judge, and so they have turned from attorneys to judges. While Johnny's PR team is now attacking allegedly Amber's team, or Amber, by saying she keeps adding new and new elements every time she talks. Like, they threw a lot of shade at her by allegedly saying that she delivered the performance of a lifetime in court this week. Like, they're making it sound like, hey, you guys, Amber Heard is acting. This is not true what she's saying. Now, I don't know what really happens. Samantha Jones, objection. She needs to retrain. Jack says they both have kids separately. Really? Amber Heard has a child? I didn't know. Well, anyway. Can we just be grateful these two never had kids? Oh, Selena says, can we just be grateful these two never had kids? No, they had kids. Both of them. Right. Oh, I knew about Johnny. I didn't know about Amber. But anyway, so Tina says she fired her PR staff. OMG, 3 Faces of Eve. Love the outside courthouse. Boo-boo. So the outside courthouse, yes. And this here is also a courthouse of its own, right? So then during the moment of testifying, right, the testimony moment, the moment when she's like sharing with us what happened to her during Johnny, like she's highlighting certain moments. And I've watched some YouTube videos of other YouTubers, some YouTubers who are in the psychology profession and others who are lawyers. But it was more interesting for me, rather than the lawyer side, to see the psychology side. People saying, allegedly, that if you are a victim of SA, sexual, or domestic, you can't say these words on YouTube. Anyway, SA and DV, and you have to testify, it is said that usually the person who went through such traumas, that is then forced on the witness stand to relive those traumas by telling them. It is said that they usually kind of really fly over it quickly. They don't want to keep going back and forth, rewinding and pushing the button on certain words and rehashing it with more emotion the second time they repeat a concept. Like, it's not something typical. So I've been told of people who actually went through abuse to tell it with such theatrical emphasis. Now, obviously, her story is her story. It's up to the jury in that courtroom to believe her or not. What is so fascinating to me is that some people claim that for Johnny to lose this case, all that is needed is for one single claim of abuse claimed by Amber Heard to be believed by the jury. If they believe one single incident that she claims to have suffered of abuse perpetrated upon by Johnny Depp, they just got to believe one instance of abuse, allegedly, so I've been told, and he loses. Because the op-ed in the newspaper in which she claims that she was abused, that he's suing her for, because that allegedly ruined his reputation and hence money, because he allegedly after that didn't get roles in Hollywood anymore, or big paying roles in Hollywood anymore. So he's defamation. It's a defamation lawsuit, right? So, but if it is true what she states in her article, or if one account of any abuse she's talking about, if the jury believes just one, that's enough to allegedly get Johnny to lose. Now, my question is this. How do we know? If you're in a relationship for several years and you've been married, abuse is a big word, okay? I'm not saying everybody has to go through abuse, but you do in a relationship. Sometimes you go on each other's nerves. You say nasty stuff to each other from time to time. You might push somebody. You might slap somebody if you're really angry with them. I mean, but where is the line? Like when is it abuse and when is it a reaction to a provocation that your partner did to you? Like who started it? It's really, I think in relationships that have lasted that long, in some cases, not always, I do believe it's almost like asking what came first, the chicken or the egg? You started it. No, but I started it because you started it. Like, no, I'm just reacting to what you did. And then your partner says, yeah, but I did that because you did that before I did that. And then you say, yeah, but then you did that. But I did that because you did that because I did that because you did that. You know what I mean? And it can... I'm not trying at all to diminish the severity of DV and SA. Not at all. I'm just saying in some instances with some relationships, especially relationships that have been relationships for a long time, there's a dynamic there and there's ways of dealing with stress bubbling up and pressure cooking that can be psychological, which I can say, told through words or through physical action. Where do you draw the line? Like if Amber Heard has allegedly been drinking 2 bottles of red wine a day, all of the other witnesses that were testifying the weeks prior, saying like the butlers and all the people, they all say she would guzzle the whole. So if she's drunk and annoyed by him and he has issues with his allegedly painkillers or whatever drugs he was taking, prescription meds that he was hooked on, and she keeps poking at him, and she's annoyed that maybe he got a better paying part than, because you best believe he gets better paying parts than she does. I mean, after all, he's been around the block a couple of times more than she has. He's been in Hollywood longer than she has. He's more famous than her. 2 actors together, 2 egos together. There's also jealousy there. That if he's getting better roles than she is, she's going to be jealous. If she gets better roles than he is, then he's going to be jealous. Allegedly. You might get annoyed. You might scratch a person. I'm not saying this is good. I'm not saying this is a nice thing. I'm not at all. But I'm just asking myself, when can you officially call it DV or DA, domestic abuse? Like, when do you call it that? Like, when is it that? And when is it, oh, well, we've been together for 10 years and we just irritate each other from time to time? So there's that point. I wonder how the jury is going to understand the difference between a couple bickering and getting into fights with each other, how they're going to differentiate that and actual abuse. Two different things. Similar, and sometimes they can blend over each other, but I wonder how much the jury is going to differentiate. Jack Dean says the line between abuse and not is very vague. I completely agree with you, Jack. I completely agree with you. Trisha says the way Amber told the jury how Johnny attacked her is so crazy. She would have ended up in a hospital. She's so full of poop, says Trisha. Rachel says there's so many nuances. Jack says, I guess essentially when it becomes physical abuse is when it's differentiated. Barbara says mental and physical abuse. Silala says the cops and her nurse said she had zero evidence of having been abused, not a victim of DV. Tina says surrogate baby, excuse me, I'll do something else. I'm still trying to figure out why so much was recorded in the first place as virtual flowers. So allegedly, apparently they went to couples therapy, and so apparently they decided in therapy to record each other when they fight so that those recordings can be then used in therapy to see who did what wrong so that they can better their relationship. So apparently that's why they were recording each other. But also sometimes what I understood is that they had to kind of say to each other, we're recording now. But from what I understood, sometimes she would be recording him without him knowing. And that's where she apparently crossed the line. From what I understood, okay, this is just my opinion only, you guys. I'm never going to stress enough to repeat this. I know it's boring to repeat it, but I got to protect my butt here too. And how Johnny took 8 to 10 ecstasy and drank the whole bottle of liquor is so far-fetched. Johnny would have been dead, says Trisha. I mean, somebody can hold their guzzle, somebody can't. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't be. Oh, God knows. No. Me and alcohol. No, I would be in a coma. I'm not a drinker, you guys. I rarely drink. So, you know, there's a video out there of her sniffing something, says Sylvie BT, from a Kleenex while she's on the stand. Really? Wow. Okay, Jack says, oh my God, did you see Amber stop and pose with the tissue for the camera like she was crying? Really, Jack? Julie says she sounded like she was fighting the Hulk. She would have been hospitalized after a fight like that. Tina says she recorded him to set him up for the money, says Tina. Jesus says 1 glass of wine and I'm gone, says Jesus. Yeah, Jesus, but red wine is in your blood, Jesus. Should be technically. Well, the Bible says it. Keep that tush intact, Dacob, says Selena. Thank you. Virtual Flower says, I hope that when this is concluded, they can both finally move on with their lives in a positive manner. Right? She literally paused and froze and looked to the camera. DN, it flashed. Says Jack. She made her face all red with the tissue, says Tina. Janira K says, yes, she posed with a Kleenex so bad. Oh my God. Rachel says, the testimony from Amber Heard was very confusing. Rhonda says, correct, Tina. I feel the same way. She wants money, period. Maria says, why it's my comment not showing? Hey, Maria, it's showing. I just read it. Sylvie says, I don't know what it was. It looked weird, and some people are theorizing that it's the white powder. Oh, interesting. Trisha says, Amber accused Johnny of taking 8 to 10 ecstasy is just far-fetched. Well, her accusing him of taking however many pills or non-pills or snorting or doing whatever he was doing is one thing, but it's another thing altogether to now all of a sudden talk about that terrible instance of having him grab her down there and inspecting her orifice in her private area for cocaine. I mean, let that sink in for a moment. Now, if that is kinky for the couple, if both of them have their role-playing games and they're both consenting to this sort of strip search moment and for kinks, that's one thing. It's a totally different thing if this happened because he wanted to hurt her in that way. It just sounds insane to a point of yes, Rachel, you missed that part. Yeah, the cavity search. Yeah. Jess Incognito says, my opinion is that this is a toxic relationship. From those recording, to me, it seemed like she likes to instigate the fights. I don't buy the victim claims. They say the Kleenex had vapor rub to make her cry, says Julie Son. She's up to something, says Ellen. Timelines were confusing. Her testimony was all over the place, says Virtual Flower. It's so sad. She's clearly very disturbed, says Sylvie. Maria Borreau says, did you see the video where she mentions Kate Moss? Yes. And I've also heard about the Kate Moss situation. So apparently now Johnny's lawyers are super happy that she brought in Kate Moss, because now that she allowed the conversation about Kate Moss, now they can use Kate Moss as well. Foundation or whatever it's called. So now that she has laid the foundation for the Kate Moss conversation, now Johnny's lawyers can take that as well. And apparently I've heard they are super thrilled that now they can use the Kate Moss situation as well, because apparently they have something up their sleeves which would be detrimental to Amber Heard. So I'm really looking forward to how Johnny's lawyers the week after next week are going to bring in Kate Moss into the conversation. Oh my God, you guys. If Kate Moss were called to testify, okay, like, I think that would be it for me. Kate Moss, witness. Kate Moss as a witness in this trial. Gold. Gold. What more can you wish for? What more can you wish? No, seriously, you got. What more can you wish? Kate Moss as a witness. I would call her as a witness even if she had nothing to do with the case, just to have her sit there fabulously in court. Good old legal Katie, says Patsy Stone. Georgina Mon says, she said that he introduced a bottle of vodka in her V and she didn't look for medical attention. Why there is no medical record of that? Says Georgina Mon. It's a really good point. I don't know if there is a medical record. I think if there were a medical record, they would have definitely had it as Exhibit A. You know what I mean? And, oh, hold on. Let me read. Let me go down, up more. Unique Rivera says, when I was being strangled repeatedly until I became unconscious, I never took note of the floor I was being strangled on. That's all I'm saying about that. Oh my God, Unique Rivera, I'm so sorry I had to go through that. Oh, man. But that is a really good point. It's like, you just want to freaking survive. You don't start thinking, oh, my shoe was undone. My shoelace on the left shoe was a millimeter off. The floor looked like that. The ceiling, because I was strangled looking up, the ceiling there was a spot on the left angle of the, you know what I mean? And her entire body language was very pleading. You don't plead. It's some, her lawyers, her PR team, not her lawyers, her PR team. Well, her PR team are kind of becoming her lawyers this week that there's no trial, right? For this week. Her lawyers are, her PR team is saying how, I forgot what I wanted to say. I'm like, what was I saying? Oh, yes. Her PR team is saying Johnny Depp is never looking her in the eyes. Johnny Depp is always looking down while she's testifying. Johnny Depp, by not looking her in the eyes while she's testifying, if he's not looking at her, that means that he is ashamed to look at her because he's ashamed of what he did to her. It means that it is all true what she's saying. Now, this is what her PR team allegedly is stating, right? I think the opposite. I think the victim never wants to look their perpetrator in the eyes. I think the victim is the one that doesn't want to deal. So, but she, on the other hand, looks at him a lot while she's talking. She says something. She's like, okay, so the jury is over there. Johnny is in front of her, more or less, and her lawyers are there. And so she's like, kind of like, to the jury, she's like, and then usually when she does that, and then she looks at him, she adds another thing, like, and then she looks at him shortly, gives a side eye to the lawyers, and then goes back to the jury. Did you notice that? I've noticed her do that several times. Jury crying, changing topic, looking at him shortly when she changes topic, side eye to the lawyers, back to the jury. Did you notice that as well? Silala says, Dacob, you're spot on. She's aggressive and looking at him, and he doesn't engage. Aisha says, I noticed the eyes. Virtual Flower says, if he looked at her, they could say, oh, darn, I missed it. Wait. Sorry, you guys. It flew away. Virtual Flower. If he looked at her, they could say he was trying to intimidate her. Exactly. I think his lawyers, Virtual Flower, I think his lawyers told him basically, Johnny, don't engage with her. Do not give the jury a moment to judge you. Because I was told, actually I was told in a video, there's a YouTuber that made a video. They were in court. They saw the jury and they were talking. They didn't describe how the jury looks like. No, obviously. But they said in their video that they saw the jury and they said, while Amber Heard, this is really juicy, right? While Amber Heard was testifying, the jury, they all had like stuff to write and they were all or most of them were taking notes, allegedly. And then this person said that the jury did not show emotions. Like they're very blank. They're not being like, oh, Amber. Or they weren't being like, oh, Amber, girl. No. So this person said they saw the jury allegedly, right? And the jury allegedly was taking notes, a lot of notes while she was testifying, and they were not giving any emotions. So if the jury isn't giving emotions, and probably they're told not to give emotions, not to give you any emotional response so that you can't judge if you're getting to them or not. Probably Johnny's lawyers, I would think, told him, hey, they will be judging, even if even if they're doing poker face, they're still judging. So you do not interact with her. You do not give her one opportunity to look at her and catch her gaze looking back at you and give her an opportunity to start crying even more and be like, oh my God, now he looked at me. So I think he was, just my personal opinion, I think he was very well briefed by his lawyers to just not engage with her. And I think that's the clever thing to do. And don't be all, oh my God, why is she lying? No, you know what? No, you don't have to show to the jury that you're trying to tell them that she's lying. No, that's your lawyer's job to do. Let them catch her in the lie. Okay? So I think he's reacting the proper way. Yvonne says, oh my God, when she acted scared of him, when they almost crossed paths, I can't with her. I missed that part. She's trying to aggressively seduce, says Hella Barbara. She is trying to aggressively seduce. I feel that as well. Christy Smith said, if he looked at her, he would probably turn into stone. Just Yopping says, I have noticed how she tries to engage with him. She does try to engage with him, but he's not looking. Hella Barbara ranks says she's trying to aggressively seduce. Jack says, oh, and her stupid little afraid to jump back when the court was going home. Yvonne says, oh, she acted scared of him when they crossed paths. Trisha says, I saw that too. Oh, she's so fake. Nora says her fake crying was very cringe. Julie says, yes, juries are told to keep a straight face. A1H, her being scared and backing to a corner was so corny. Hella Barbara says, not one tear. On that camera, I also did not see any tears. But then again, it wasn't a high-res camera. But it did feel like no tears were there. It felt like, but, you know. Virtual Flower. Silala to Nora. OMG, the fake ugly crying without a single tear. Please. Virtual Flower says, he has snickered a few times and I'm worried that it could backfire on him with the jury. I saw the little snicker moment, but usually the snickering is he kind of does, and then he turns to his lawyer immediately, says something, and then the lawyer smiles at him back. So it might not come to bite him in the butt. Unique says, did anyone see how she pretended to be afraid of Johnny in court? Okay, so we're talking about that moment. I missed that moment. Irish says, she got slapped and the first thing she noticed is the carpet. This is Irish Takeuchi. Maria Barros says, Dacob, you need to watch the video of her acting scared of him. It's really disturbing and cringe. I'm totally going to look that up, you guys. Sylvie BT says, the way she's copying his looks, insane. I know, right? Aisha says, how did Johnny ever want to marry her anyway? She seems like an idiot. Oh my God, Aisha. I guess he had the hots for her. We'd see tears if they existed, says Jack. Ellen says, she's trying to cry, but no tears at all. Silala says, exactly, Jack. She didn't even wipe her eyes. Jack says, I DM'd you the camera Oh, thank you so much, Jack. Jack, hold on, let me... Okay, so Jack DM'd me the camera posing clip. Now, obviously, for copyright reasons, I probably won't be able to show this to you guys. Let me just see it quickly. I got my little giblet here. Okay, so Jack sent me the camera posing clip. Oh my God. Yeah, guys. Yeah, okay. Well, done. Okay, so I'm going to reenact it for you guys. I got toilet paper. Sorry, I'm ratchet that way. I don't care. Judge me. I got my little toilet papers. Okay, she had tissue. I got toilet paper. Whatever. This is a ratchet situation. Let me... hold on. Okay, why can't no, I can't see it now. Oh my God. Hold on, you guys. Now it's gone. Because the links that are sent through Instagram, if you click on one link and then the video ends and then the second one begins, you can't go back to the first video. It's so stupid. So I have to close Instagram, reopen Instagram. Okay, let me see the video again. So she has... Okay, it's on this side. No, okay. So she's about to wipe her nose. And as she's wiping, she's here. PR, photo, camera team is there. She notices them. So she's like wiping. And then moves again. Let me do it again for a screenshot moment. Wait. Okay, that's that. It's insane. Yeah, I saw it now. After seeing this, I'm done. That's all I needed to see. This was so... She's making a thumbnail. I know, Aisha, she's making a thumbnail. Amber Heard, thank you for giving us the idea for a thumbnail, honey. Who did a thumbnail better? Who did a thumbnail better? Super D or Amber H? Virtual Flower, ha! She definitely acted a few times for news bites. for sure. Tina says, see how red you can get. The Raven, love the camera flashes. Thank you, darling. A little bit of special effects to give you the zhuzh, the moment, the vibe of the courtroom. Darling, darling. We're definitely going to post the OG video on the new Discord for members coming up. So, I'm starting a Discord for tier 3 members. Well, all tiers, tier 1, 2, and 3, but tier 3 get extra perks. There's going to be a tier 3 coming soon, so I'm going to post this video definitely of Amber doing the... Did you take the photo? You did? Oh, good. Cha. Did you see her his face when she called his kids weirdos? She did call she said she got close to the kids too. What I want to know in the chats, you guys, is there anybody here who is on Amber Heard's side? Is there anybody? Watch out or it'll be Amber versus Dacob next, says Jack Dean. Uh-oh. Allegedly. All just my opinion only, you guys. Poor Johnny's statement, I lost nothing less than everything, made me tear up. Yeah, that was a statement. Is there anybody who is on her side? Interesting. Kimberly says I'm on nobody's side. That's you're Switzerland, Kimberly. Jesus crickets. I wouldn't say I'm on her side, but I believe he could have done better in their relationship. I agree with you on that, Virtual Flower. But this is not the question here. The question is he's not suing her. She's not suing him because he could have been better in the relationship. She's suing back at him, right? He's not suing her because she could have been better in her relationship. She's suing her. He's suing her because allegedly it's a defamation lawsuit because of the article she wrote. So this is not a lawsuit about who was a nice or not a nice partner in the relationship. So let's be very clear, you guys. We're not judging them for that. This lawsuit is not about that. This lawsuit is about a defamation. So are we on her side? Meaning, was she right to defame him? Or are we not on her side? I haven't watched much of it. Don't take sides because I feel like we never know, says Selena. Irish says no. Tina says I love Johnny and no, he was fooled. Trisha says no, Johnny all the way. Virtual Flower says for the court case, I'm on his side. Good point. Christy says not me, never been on her side. If he is that way that she makes him out to be, he would have run into trouble a long time before now, and they would be coming out of the woodworks. I completely agree with you, Christy. That's a really good point. And also, we know a writer came out in his defense. Vanessa Paradis came out in his defense. Michelle Crawford says she lied. Julie Son says evidence is overwhelming on Johnny's side. Maria says, I believe Johnny, he has more to lose than her. Jack says, but for public opinion, it is about who the abuser really was. I agree, but she's suing back for $100 million or something like that, you guys. Christy Smith, instead, they are coming to his aid. Nana says she had malicious intent to defame and did defame. Team Depp all the way. Who, what, 1, 2, 3. Wait, he's suing. He is, and she's countersuing. Amber says, has a history of DV, Johnny. Amber has a history of DV. Johnny is much older and has many relationships and never been accused of DV. Jack says, does she even have the money to pay out if he wins? No, I think it's a symbolic thing, I believe. I don't know, just my opinion. Amy says, I can't watch this now, but checked in here as I knew you'd support Romina. We'll catch up later. Love from Australia. Thank you so much, Amy Brando. Xeni says, I think we're all struggling to believe anything she says. We are. Jack says, Lala says to Jack, it won't matter if she can pay, it clears his name. I agree. Jesus, we all believed her and called him names in the past. I didn't believe her. No, I never called him names. Johnny, Marib H. Johnny's behavior is terrible. Why did Amber allow much? disrespect for so long? Love? Oh, you mean Marib, if Johnny's behavior is so terrible, why did she allow it for so long? Michael G, well, that's not what you wrote. I don't know if that's what you meant. Michael G, Amber was caught lying, so it all lies on Johnny's character witnesses, in my opinion. Jess Incognito, I think no matter who wins, Johnny seems to be winning in the public opinion. I agree with you on that. Nora says, I mean, she probably drove him crazy. Christy Smith, I do not believe that it has been founded that any of her past relationships ended well. Kinda all one-sided, if you get my drift. Far's favorites, love your humorous commentary, dearest Dacob. My husband is listening to you and cracking up. Please do more on the trial. Team Johnny Depp, 1000%. Because these SA accusations are criminal. Thank you so much, Far's favorites. Lots of love to you and your hubby. Thank you guys so much for watching. The Raven says she sued him to get the $7 million. She said she will donate the money, but she kept it for herself. Yeah, and then his lawyer, the money dude, Johnny's money dude, said, yeah, it was $7 million. It was like $5 million allegedly. Then she upped it to 7, then to 14. She was asking for more and more and more. Remember the lawyer said in a testimony a week ago. A1H says, not on her side, but I don't think there is definite answers. There is no one pure and one evil in the end. But I think Amber was the starter and he was probably reactive. Marib, yes, that is what I meant. Thank you for your help, Dacob, dearest. Okay, gotcha, Marib. Yeah, so you said if he were so mean to her, then why didn't she stop it sooner? Christy, when they exited the courthouse yesterday, she was booed and he was celebrated. Oh, that must have rubbed her the wrong way, honey. Ugh. Jack says, tax-free, darling. Yes, darling. Now, listen. Also, I mean, Johnny... there's this... Okay, so first of all, thank you for letting me... Jack, for sending me the video of her doing the... And then another, so this totally makes me believe that she's fake AF. But the second thing, Johnny, in all of those recordings that she made of him, whether they be audio or video, I swear to you guys, my opinion only, but I never got one single aggressive vibe from him. Even in that video, I don't know if you've all seen the video, but the video where he's in the kitchen and he's slamming the cupboards. He's not aggressive. He's like one of those slow motion drunk people or drugged people. Like they've been numbed. He's one of those druggies or alcoholics, allegedly, that, you know, when they're under the influence, they slow down. They don't become aggressive. They become more like, you know, that's he. Oh, when she filmed him with the cupboards, he was like not even managing to really slam that cupboard. And when she filmed him in a fight, audio with him, he never really raised his voice to the point that he just doesn't have it in him. You guys, to me, when he's talking, he's very introverted. He's a very, very harmless person physically. Apparently, to me, at least that's just my opinion. He comes across as somebody who's very docile, not hostile. The opposite of hostile. Docile. Very, very passive. Docile. Very no. And even when she's like in these audio clips, he would always be like, no. He maintains that and she goes and he's like she never pokes him to a point where do you know what I mean? He had no energy, says Tina True. And this is what leads me to believe, like, well, you don't have any video to show me, any audio clip to show me where I see a freaking predator, apex predator. Johnny Depp, in no recording do they prove that he is this testosterone, macho, alpha male driven thing. Not in one single recording did I see that, personally. Just my personal opinion, okay? I have not seen or heard in the videos and audio clips I was shown and that I listened to, I have not seen one single time a Johnny Depp that gave me the vibes of that mask for mask, apex predator. You know. No, he didn't. Now, plus the testimonies or whatever sort of recalling of Winona Ryder, what she thinks about him, of Vanessa Paradis, both who he dated, with one he had kids even. None of them saying anything bad about him. Like, I mean, I don't think this dude has it in him to be physically abusive. If I were in that jury, I would not see him as physically abusive. Because bottom line, you guys, the jury, yes, they listen to facts, but they make up their own mind. Don't get fooled by the court system telling you, you know, these are all facts. First of all, if it's all facts and only facts shown in the courtroom, I don't trust fully the legal system. I'm sorry. Maybe am I the only one here? I don't fully trust the American legal system. I just don't. And because also you can't even open your mouth in the court, like the lawyers stop you. They want to direct you in a direction that they want you to go in. That already is manipulation to me. And that already is not facts. First of all. Second of all, certain things that might be important to the case don't often or sometimes get allowed into the trial. So the jury doesn't even get the right to see all the facts always. Or all the exhibits, what's it called? You know, you want to mention it, proof. You want to call it proof of something or the other. So there's already manipulation happening before something is accepted as evidence in court. There's already a filter system set in place, and that filter system isn't necessarily good in order for truth to prevail. That filter system of lawyers blocking off certain evidence and saying, no, this cannot be accepted as evidence, that system set in place already allows for blocking certain evidence which might be vital to the case, just because the lawyers are fighting for their clients, not necessarily for the truth. So the legal system is flawed, I believe. And yeah, A1H says, I don't trust any legal system. I don't either. I mean, it's all a game, you guys. My personal opinion. Julie says, I think the jury determines what is abuse. It can be verbal as well. Well, Julie, in that case, we're all abusers and we've all been abused on a daily basis. I mean, take it from a gay person growing up as a gay kid in a highly aggressive world. I have been abused every day of my life since I can remember being who I am and accepting who I am. So what? Does that mean I'm going to sue the entire world? For what? So that they come to apologize to me? Oh, honey, you know what the ultimate truth is? I've apologized to myself for having allowed all that shit to get to me all those years. That's the only courtroom scenario that I need. I don't need no Oompa Loompa justice system, lawyers, sycophants, judges. All of that is noise. It's white noise. At the end of the day, you're alone when you go to sleep and you close your eyes and you're alone with yourself. And if you cannot forgive yourself, if you can't win inside of your own court battlefield internally, then nothing else matters. Everything else is irrelevant. Then you're a loser, baby. Either way. I had to forgive myself for what all those other assholes did to me. It's not easy to follow this concept, but do you understand what I'm saying here? I don't need a bully to recognize what they did to me as if that thing that they did to me while they bullied me was wrong. I don't need their sympathy. I don't need them to wake up and realize what they've done to me. What they did to me, they've already done to me. The wounds are there. Those wounds are not quantifiable in money. The court system, what? So the bully now has to give you $1 million. I'm still in pain. $1 million are not making it go away. The court system doesn't work. The bully is going to end up in jail because they hurt you. I'm still hurting, even if they end up in jail. So there is no justice. No, what I'm trying to tell you, the courtroom, the jury, the lawyers, the system cannot deliver justice to you. Only you can deliver justice to yourself, not by being vindictive. No, you have to say sorry to yourself. This is the hardest thing to do. It's the hardest thing to do. Somebody's hurting you externally. Somebody's bullying you externally. You're like, let me sue. It's not gonna change anything. The fact that you've been hurt ain't gonna change. The only thing that's gonna change is if you acknowledge what happened to you, if you embrace what has happened to you in order to be able to process it properly and be able to let it go. Only you can do that. There is no courtroom in this world that can do that for you. Only you can do that. It's the toughest thing to do. The toughest thing to do. Just yapping. Forgiveness to yourself. Exactly. Who, what, 1, 2, 3. Sometimes those things make you the person you are today. It's exactly what it is. If you cannot forgive yourself, then how in the hell you're going to forgive somebody else, right? Can I get an amen up in here? It says Jesus, RuPaul quote, but with a transformation. Make peace within yourself. Exactly, A1H. That's the bottom line. Tina says, all sides of attorneys are buddies like a baseball team plays a game. It's a dance. Exactly. The Raven says, the outcome of this case will be a slap on the hand for Amber, and Johnny's case will be dismissed because of the evidence against him. Interesting point. Probably, maybe, letting it go is not so easy, says Tina. No, that's why I tell you, Tina, that's the hardest thing to do. Tina says, all sides of attorneys. Sorry for that one. Trisha, I really want to give you a hug and cry. Oh, Trisha. Virtual hug, sweetie. Virtual hug. But the Raven, this is the thing. Probably case might be dismissed. He might not win, but he did win already now, the public opinion. And I do believe that Hollywood does not have a place for her anymore. I don't think she's going to get jobs after this. So she can win or lose the case. She's done. Her career is done. People don't like her. Even if what she's saying were true, people don't like her today. Maybe some fact comes out tomorrow that we don't know yet that will make us change our mind, or that will make me change my mind, because this is just my opinion only. But today, as of today, I don't like her. And as you guys were saying in the chats, people boo her when she came out of the court. They cheered him. Which movie mogul, which production company or studio wants to hire an actress that nobody likes? Maybe for reverse psychology, maybe you want to make a movie so that people will go to the cinema just to hate on her, which would actually be a very clever move. Maybe now is the time to hire her, because people will go to see this alleged mean person who tried to defame Johnny Depp. Let's go hate watch. It's a thing, you guys. People do hate watch TV shows. There's YouTubers out there. Just look at all the YouTubers that were hate watching and Just Like That season 1. They were living for that show just so that they could make videos to hate the show and get hundreds of thousands of views. So I'm sure there would be people who would be hate watching her movie. So maybe somebody would be, oh yes, Amber Heard, let's hire her now for a good price because she's going to go down with her fee because nobody wants her. And let's get her in a movie and get a lot of people to come see it and hate watch it. We live in a very sick society, you guys. I mean, I'm telling you, even the gutter is profitable. Selena says, I hate watched, then loved it. And Just Like That, it's a great show. I loved it too. Or Chucky movie. Oh, yeah. Amber Heard and Chucky. I mean, it's a vibe. Tina says, did you see video of the outside of the courthouse? The love. It's like Michael Jackson again. Living ferret. Oh my God, I'm also living for this iced coffee, you guys. Julie Son says, yep, people hate her. And she brought it all on herself. Maybe she can star in the next Friday the 13th, says Michelle Crawford. Don't ruin the Friday the 13th saga for me, Michelle. Julie says, I think it's almost, 4 million? How someone's life can be ruined by someone else's allegations, even when everyone knows they're unreal, it's just beyond. Well, Unboxed Beauty, people actually apparently believed her in the past. That's why Johnny wanted this case, this trial, to be broadcast live so that everybody can see it, because he's like, there's no other way I can show the world how she's manipulating things. I want this to be televised. And then the court or the judge allowed it. And now that's and apparently, allegedly, Amber Heard was strongly opposed to the trial being televised. But he won that. He said, no, I want this to be televised. Doesn't that tell you something? If the opponent tries not to get it televised, what do you gotta hide, boo-boo? What are you hiding? Show it to the world if you have nothing to hide. But apparently she didn't want it televised. And he's like, I have nothing to hide. I want this televised. And he spent all this money because he wants the world to see. This also tells me a lot, if not everything, I need to know. If you don't want me to see something, that means you got something to hide. But if you want me to see everything, well, my potential trust in you or towards you grows. So there's that as well. That he wanted televised, she didn't. And then all the other things that we're talking about in this video, like it all adds up, and she just doesn't do one thing right to save her name. So, unless somebody doesn't want to do hate watching of Amber Heard's future movies, and some production company doesn't want to hire her because of hate watching, then her career is done. Because people hate her now. I mean, hate is a strong word, but I wouldn't want to hire her personally. So that's that. That's that. Jesus says Hollywood might be done with her, but Fashion Nova isn't. Jack Dean says, but is it as entertaining as Judge Judy was? What? I missed a comment probably. Well done, Johnny, says Christy Smith. I do not think that any directors or film companies will want to work with her. That line will not be ringing for her. But Jerry Springer, here she comes. Oh, I get it. But Judge Judy would. Oh my God, Jack Dean. If this trial happened in Judge Judy's courtroom, that would have been the pinnacle of our lifetimes, seriously. And then Kate Moss testifying. Done. Dead. 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 Judge Judy is great, says Lily Bonfy. Reality TV could be an option, says Selena. She might end up on reality TV, but people would be scared that she would sue them for anything and everything. So people don't like that in the industry. They don't like when you're a snitch, when you are a blabbermouth, when the second something happens or doesn't happen, you start being shady and sketchy in the press. People don't like that. They don't want to work with you when you're like that. Oh, Sylvie BT, good point. If it's Elon Musk's child, she will be okay. Oh, in that case, she will be okay for sure. Silala says, the hotel for the class trip I chaperoned last weekend was 10 minutes from the courthouse. I was hoping for a fleeting glimpse of Johnny. Oh my God, Silala. The coincidences are way too many for it to not be kismet. Unboxed Beauty. People have been speculating on the mental tissue for act crying. I stand with all abuse victims as a woman, obviously, but don't want to throw any shade. Looked like a bad episode of Pretty Little Liars, says Unboxed Beauty. Jack Dean says, Kate Moss and Naomi rolling through. Oh my God, you guys, you got to watch Naomi Campbell's testimony many, many years back about the blood diamonds ruling and trial, also caught on camera, and you can check it out on YouTube. Mia Farrow and Naomi Campbell both testifying about the blood diamonds that Naomi Campbell allegedly received. Boy, is that a thing to watch. Mia Farrow's testimony and Naomi's testimony. Naomi arriving late to court as if it were a fashion show. Oh my God, brilliant. I'm living for that moment of Naomi. And Naomi started the deposition like super, the testimony like super posh and with the accent and all that stuff. And then the more they were trying to make her sound like she's guilty of something, and the more she became very, I don't want to say Cockney accent, but she started like at one point from this posh talking and I told you already, she switched into, well, they told me thems was diamonds, thems was. I was like, what? Did she just says thems was diamonds? Thems was? It was insane. You should check that out on YouTube. Many years old, but always a pearl. So yes, Naomi Campbell here in court it would be a moment for centuries to come. Yes, Jack, she said, I didn't really want to be here. I was made to be here. Oh, live and ferret, live and ferret. This is a big inconvenience for me. Yes, she said that. Naomi said that. This is a big inconvenience for me to be here. Naomi did not have time for Aisha. Naomi was like totally Anna Delveying the house down in that courtroom. Sylvie says, Naomi says, I didn't know they were diamonds. I thought they were dirty stones. Yeah, oh my God, you all know it. It's amazing. It's a fabulous testimony. Just like any Caucasian from South Africa, Nora. What happened when he wants all his women to have blonde hair also, says Nora. But she still served the look. Oh yes, Jack. She had her hair up, whipped. She was serving Patsy Stone in a courtroom. I miss the days when people made an effort with the court outfits. Yeah. Let's talk about that outfit. So the first day of testifying of Amber Heard, talk about a bad hair day. I was like, why did she make her hair on the side fall? And why did she make that hair look like she just came out of an assault? Oh, that was what she was going for. Oh, I see. It just clicked while I was describing it. She wanted, didn't she? Allegedly, just my opinion only, to look like she just survived an assault. You know, that hair all messed up the first day. It felt like she was literally like being assaulted, and then she just kind of rushed into the courtroom. Didn't it look a little bit like that? Oh, she tried to copy the hair of Dr. Curry, who we love. We love Dr. Curry. That is so true. Dr. Curry was amazing. No, I'm virtual flower. I'm talking about the first day, not the second day. The second day was more funeral. The first day was like literally like, look at me, I've been abused. Like the hair and that kind of hard cheekbone makeup made it look like, look at me, I was abused. They say she got an earpiece. No, I don't. Well, she's not allowed to in court, but I don't know. Oh, on the stand, she looked Amish, like she's innocent and pure, or some shite. The first day, no, she didn't, with that messy hair. Last day's testimony, she had a blouse that had knots, and the little kind of Chanel-ish jacket with the round cutout. Like a rope, says Tina. Anna Delvey would never, says Rachel, right? She would dress better in a courtroom, let me tell you. I mean, she hired her PR team. She should have hired her stylist. Honey. It's the stylist she should have fired. Yeah, why do her cheeks look bruised? It's the makeup, I think. Really poor choice of makeup. Or she wants that makeup so that she looks to the jury like she's still being bruised and abused. Hella Barbara Rang says, he looks Paul. Patsy Stone, if only she wore some Chanel couture, everyone would be intimidated, which is true. Leanne says, looks like purple eyeshadow. Xeni says, she's shady and determined. Virtual Flower says, her cheeks look puffy. Well, anyway, I'm going to end it here, you guys. This is basic. We're going to know more in the weeks to come. Of course, I'm going to, make more videos about this as long as the trial lasts. Apparently now, Johnny's team has around 26 hours left, the judge said, at their disposal, and her team has 24 hours left until their time runs out, because you can't just keep a trial running forever. You have a limited amount of time. So it's about 2 more weeks to go. Thank you for answering my question. You don't think that she is right here? You think that he's the one in the right? So thank you for answering that question. Let me know in the comment section down below as well what you guys think. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, never forget to never give up on love. Subscribe. Mwah.